Ooh, 1 second. All right, all right. Blessings, blessings, and grand risings. I'm sorry, guys. I was supposed to have my mic situation together, and I didn't. Grand risings. Welcome, welcome to Grace in the Morning. If you don't know who I am, where is my little piece to my mic? If you don't know who I am, my name is Miss Grace, Grand Risings. Please let me know, can you hear me? Can you hear me and everything is clear? Because I want to make sure our sound is clear. I don't want any static in the background, okay? So today again, we have an amazing broadcast, a special broadcast, and another 8 ball. Some of the things that we have been talking about here is what's going on in Trump's administration. And it's going down. Now, I have been making some predictions, basically saying Trump going to jail. Trump going to jail. But because of the way that things are set up, let me make sure I can hear everybody. Cool. The way things are set up, it seems like Trump's cabinet and the people around him may be going to jail for him. Okay. So today we're going to be doing an update on what's going on with Venezuela. Where we left off was that there was numerous attacks that happened at sea, and we didn't know what was going on. We didn't. Hold on 1 second. The live just went blank. Okay, cool. All right, and we haven't been aware of it, and we meaning us, the people, and Congress. All right, so before we get into this, and we have an update. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my fact finders, keeping me up to date. Let's start off with this. Okay, let's talk about the numerous crimes or alleged crimes, constitutional violations, and laws that Trump has broken. Okay, yeah, it sound much better. Cool. All right, so we'll wait for the notifications to go in, and then we're going to get it going. Let's watch this where we left off first. Let's do this. Let's start off here, and then we're going to talk about Trump. Numerous crimes, why he should be going to jail, but other people around him will be going to jail for him. Let's go. New sign of aggression. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got two things playing in the background. Let's figure out what we got going. Please hit the like button when you come in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Miss Grace. I'm here 3 days a week breaking down what's going on in politics comprehensively. Okay, so you know I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm here just to give you the facts, not left, not right. Hold on, let's get to it. This is where we left off at. Trump is planning land strikes. Please hit the like button. Thank you for being here in the morning. I appreciate you guys. Let's go. A new sign of aggression coming from President Trump toward Venezuela, along with a new report of a phone call between the president and that country's leader, Nicolas Maduro, late last week, according to the New York Times. We warned them, stop sending poison to our country. Any direct contact stands out because the U.S. this week designated Maduro the head of a foreign terrorist organization and led 3 months of deadly strikes at sea, bombing vessels, the administration says, transport illegal drugs. More than 80 killed. Now President Trump is ramping up his threat. We'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land is easier, but that's going to start very soon. This week, Maduro engaged in his own saber rattling. Now, this is where we left off the other day, okay? Maduro's up there dancing and that everything had me dancing. Talking about Dama Dama Chula, huh. He is not nervous one bit about what's going on, but we do have Trump declaring that he's going to touch the land of Venezuela. However theatrical, he also met with his military, pledging to defend every inch of Venezuela. Tuesday, the president told reporters he might talk to Maduro, but did not indicate any call had already happened. If we can save lives, if we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visited the USS Gerald Ford in the Caribbean and stopped in the Dominican Republic amid the U.S. buildup. In waging this war on narco-terrorists, we're willing to go on the offense. Go on the offense in a way that changes the dynamic for the entire region. So again, guys, I want you know that we got to take what he says with a grain of salt. And Pete is in deep doo doo. Our last prediction was that it's two individuals that I believe is going to be losing their job because they're following the direct unlawful orders of Trump, and they're the front person, and that's Hegseth. I said that yesterday, as well as Bavino. Now let's look at this because I was just updated just before we went live that the House Democrat to file article of impeachment against Hegseth. So it's going down. No one is going to deal with this. And I'm a little shocked that Hegseth will get it before Trump because we're going to clarify some of the things that Trump is still involved in as far as litigation. But let's just get to this article real quick, and then we're going to talk about everything that Trump is still involved with as far as breaking the law, Constitution, and then we're going to finish off. So the House Democrats had pledged to file two articles of impeachment against Secretary of the Defense Pete Hegseth. And this is a direct reflection of Project 2025. Yes, because if you paid attention and you went into that, it was basically we have to follow the commander's um, agenda, which is Trump. You have to be a loyalist. You can't have critical thinking. If you do think critical and ask questions that make them uncomfortable or lawful, you will be outed, lose your job. And we have seen that happen. So the loyalist is basically getting what loyalty gets you. So Hess says over his action, they're looking to impeach him over his actions, allegedly the drug boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific, and his part in this whole scandal. In the video posted on social media, Michigan Democrat explained Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is uniquely qualified for his role, saying that you have the capability and the knowledge set to make right decisions. Okay, every day it becomes clearer that he is engaged in unlawful and illegal acts. All right, so let's just get to this, and we're gonna keep it going. Please put an 8 ball in the chat if you have been watching me, because I have been making some predictions about things, and it has been coming true. Now, before we go on to show some more videos, because what we do here is we show, look at my picture. My thumbnail is me strolling the internet. I like to look around all over. I have an amazing VPN, and I can watch things from India, from Philippines, all over. So I bring a different narrative here for you guys. There's no Democrat, no Republican. As you know, I'm a separatist. So let's get it, and we separate from the BS. Now, there's no official definitive count of how many times or Trump has violated the Constitution and the law, but there are numerous instances where we could bring up to you so you can remember right now, okay? Because people around him is going to fall for his action. So numerous times of failure to comply with court order, Trump administration was involved in hundreds of lawsuits. Again, this is what I was talking about when it came to ICE. They were going to receive numerous lawsuits. An IE example was Chicago. The mayor was already ready. He had his action team, legal team ready, and you saw everything in real time happen. So there's numerous lawsuits just coming out of that particular state. All right. So Trump has failure to comply with numerous judges' orders, halting unlawful actions such as freezing congressional appropriation funds, altering immigration policies through administration, did not have to immediately comply with this. He was putting things in they was en route. I don't even understand why our government and other officials will follow unlawful actions. I'm just a little confused too, because again, you follow and it gets to the point that it's gross, you're going to get in trouble for Trump actions. And that's what we're seeing now. And this is going to trickle down on all sectors. Okay. Okay. Now, again, this is just some of the things to highlight how Trump has been unlawful. His executive orders have been ruled unconstitutional, many of them unlawful. Several executive orders were blocked by a federal judge, including an attempt to end the birthright citizenship. And you remember when he was first coming to office, I was like, oh man, this man is going to be coming after people who have green cards, black people, all types of stuff. And you seeing that hand spread, as what we talked about the last live, that Grace Levi may be getting deported. I'm just playing. I'm just talking stuff. I ain't getting deported. But he is going after people who have green cards, and he's going to reevaluate their status based on what happened in Washington. It's a psychological operation that leads to changes of laws, that leads to us being entrapped more and us being targeted. I mean, just everybody. So he's expanding his hand with that, and I think he's still going and make attempts towards the birthright citizenship argument. Okay, so now, let's keep it moving. I have found this website, y'all, that tracks all of Trump's legal issues. And there's a lot. So we're going to do a whole broadcast on that. And then we have the cases as well. It is dope. It's a law firm. They have the cases. Y'all know, if you don't know, I like to look at cases, like the actual cases, so we can read it. So we're going to be doing that, okay? So now let's just get back to what's going on in Venezuela, what's the tone, and how the Democrats and Republicans, Congress, and everyone was surprised 2 months ago that this was going on. Let's watch this, and now we're going to see the repercussions.
About recent U.S. military operations in the Caribbean. This bipartisan scrutiny comes in the wake of new reporting from the Washington Post that one attack on a boat suspected of smuggling drugs, a follow-up strike was ordered after the initial impact left survivors on board, according to the Post, citing two sources with direct knowledge in a September 2nd strike, the first in the administration's ongoing offensive. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave a verbal command to kill everybody on the boat.
And it bears repeating, we don't know who was on that
Now,
boat.
now you hear one, they're really separating Pete from Trump. And you're going to hear, we're going to listen talking about the text and things. And then Trump, I didn't get that video, but he did say, oh, I didn't know about this next airstrike. So you see the 10 degrees of separation happening. So to you loyalists, check it out. Check it out.
After the missile hit and the smoke cleared, two survivors were seen clinging to the wreckage. The paper goes on to report that the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack then ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions.
By the way, when that strike was ordered, the person ordering that strike knew that was a war crime.
You see that? Hold up. Do y'all hear? And we talked about this war crimes, international seas, and where we just can't come in and do things like, as he said, he's just going to close the air over Venezuela. We cannot do this stuff. Okay. Now, what they're talking about is extrajudicial unalivings. That's what they're doing. So that's when someone survives maybe a boat wreckage or something like that, and then you go and unalive them. And that's what they did most recently, where it was two people hanging off of the boat, and they went in again, and you know what. So this is, since the U.S. is not in armed conflict with these alleged drug cartels, the use of lethal force is basically a violation of international human rights law, because we're human. People are human. They have the right to travel. And as we mentioned, you can research this. It was officials from Guam mentioning that people, their boats got bombed. That kind of went under the rug. Okay, but it was a boat from Guam that had nothing to do with this. Okay, so this is one of the ways that they're violating international law. Don't worry, Ma. I wanted to actually respond to the person at the bottom where he said, if I said I'm a separatist, why do I have a narrative? Everyone has a perspective. That's why you go to different broadcasts, different people, to actually listen to their perspective. But it's for you to have critical thinking and make your own judgment. I'm very, very different from a lot of the people that broadcast. And my angle is humanity, God, and the truth. And you may not like it, but it's okay. And as you say, Trump, Mega is eating this. Mega is disintegrating. You don't even know who you are at this point. You don't even know what to believe. You're probably suffering from malnutrition because of all of the snaps and the things that went on the benefit hole. Okay? So please just concentrate on the content and not the content creator. We want you to have critical thinking, and that's what we're here for. We have a diverse background here. We're not all Democrats. We're not all Republicans. We have people come from international, because my VPN is on dope. And let's represent ourselves a little bit better, mega. So international laws that they're breaking right now, where you can see in this particular broadcast, they are separating themselves from Hegseth. Didn't y'all love this man? So let's listen to a little bit more as we keep the broadcast going. Thank you for being here
today.
today.
General in a second. It's been part of international law. It's been part of the laws of war since World War II. They knew that that was an illegal action, that could constitute a war crime.
Okay, so now just to go on a little bit more about the survivors, because this is the second part I want to clarify. This is targeting survivors. The most severe criticism stem from the following strikes on the boats on September 2nd, 2025, where reported two survivors who were clinging to the edge of the boat. Both international humanitarian laws and the United States Department of Defense own law on war explicitly prohibits attacking shipwrecks, wounded, persons hanging off the side of the boat. So not only is that we're violating our laws, but international laws. But again, I can't separate Trump from this because that's what they're trying to do, and that's not happening at all because the pressure came from him. Just like I said, Bovino, he's going to get in trouble. I wish that he can get sued directly so the feds don't get the weight of this, which is the feds' money is our money. Duh. But he needs to definitely get it too. So let's move on. All right. It says warships, the CIA, and potential precision attacks the U.S. Venezuela crisis explained. So let's just watch this so we can get an idea of what's going on a little bit more. We did hear from Maduro. I tried to break it down to y'all yesterday the best that I could because he was like, "Dame chula." He had me dancing. And don't fall for the hype that these people don't like Maduro. That is not the truth.
If you're an
okay?
illegal alien,
So,
this runway is your future because
go.
you're headed home. I'm Christy Nome,
This
United
is for
States
the Trump
Secretary of
lovers
Homeland Security.
right here.
If you download the CBP Home app and you safely self-deport, you will receive financial assistance, a free flight, and the chance to come back to America legally. If you don't, you will be caught, fined, detained, and forcefully removed. Under President Trump's strong leadership, we
hit the like button,
and our border is secure.
Let's go. Let's watch this real quick.
Is America about to invade Venezuela? It's a question that's got more relevant and more urgent over the last 24 hours because the United States government has just deployed the world's largest aircraft carrier and its associated battleships to the Caribbean just off the coast of Venezuela. So what's going on? Well, on the face of it, it's a drugs war. For weeks now, the Trump administration has been using the US military to dismantle transnational criminal organizations and counter narco-terrorism in defense of the homeland. That is a White House quote. Basically, stopping the drug supply into America. Dealing with the demand might actually be more effective as a strategy, but that's another story.
Thank you. I'm so glad he said that. I hope you guys can hear it because it's a little low. He said dealing with the demand will be a better strategy. Yes, dealing it from the inside, stopping it from coming here first, and how we're distributing it here before you go after alleged drug cartel.
Hit the supply countries and to hit them hard. And this is what that has looked like. Drones and missiles taking out boats said to be carrying drugs from places like Venezuela into the United States. We can't know for sure that these are drugs boats or if the people on board are guilty of anything because the US government won't tell us who the people are except to say that they believe they are narco-terrorists. But alongside this, something else has been going on, something bigger, a massive buildup of US troops in the Caribbean. Over 6,000 sailors and Marines are there, 8 warships, submarines, amphibious assault ships, and preparations underway in Puerto Rico to host thousands of US soldiers there.
Now let's stop right here. Did we know that? We thought that our soldiers were spread thin being here. We have the National Guard, we have the Border Patrol, we have ICE here. Now we have the military. Not only hold on, so I do apologize. That was a little bit low. Not only in Iran, Israel, places all throughout Africa, bordering around, paying attention to China, getting set up for that. China and Russia situation, and now we have them getting ready to basically invade Venezuela without approval from our Congress at all. Now, let me get to some of y'all comments down at the bottom. Thank you for being here and listen. Let's look, Joshua. Let's see what you have to say. I mostly disagree with the new stimulus check bill and Trump's support of Israel. They have become far too powerful. They have been, and that is something that I want to talk about on another day because sometimes you talk about that you get censored, but you already know they've been controlling our politics, i.e., I'll let Candice handle that. You don't want the stimulus checks? Listen, I'll take the stimulus checks if they spending all our money and going other places. Why not give us back some of our tax money? Man, I just sent the IRS $2,000 for my taxes last year. So when I heard that stimulus tax, I was like, oh snap. Maybe that's God giving me back my money because I don't even know why we paying the Fed to go to war because they're not doing what we want them to do. This is where I sympathize with the Trump supporters in Mecca because when it came to that concept of draining the swamp and corruption and the child, I'm down with it. I am down with it. I knew it was a problem. Everybody gotta go. But Doge came in doing things that was totally reckless, and the aim was towards us, and we've been suffering ever since. They're not targeting what they supposed to target. Mega. Please explain to me, are you happy with this? Are you happy with this? Because I agree with some of Trump policies or alleged talking points. But right now it's out of control. Okay. So he says, I just find it strange that we get caught up on stupid and not black indigenous reparation. The us or this US is waiting for most of us to die. So we'll ignore reparations, and that's kind of off the topic, but I'll just let y'all know how I feel about reparations. I believe that we do deserve reparations as brown, melanated, some indigenous people to this land, people who have been brought here, and all the people that has helped contribute us and never got recompense. Shout out to Haiti. Still got us on the list. But do I think they're going to give it to us? No. Do I want their blood money? No. What I want to do? Honestly, the only way that I think we're going to get recompense, and this is shout out to my black people, is separate 10 degrees of separation because our money fuel this system. So once we reallocate our money to the sources that we want and start lobbying around the people like they do with our funds, then we can have our own reparations. And we want to learn how to seed it into us because I do think if they give us just a bulk of whatever, we're going to be seeding it back into the economy. I'm gonna like, this is a trap because I won't spend a penny here. Nope, nope. So I know that was off the topic, but I wanted to get to your comment. Um, it said America is not in power here. Both Dems and Republicans must put on a show to appease the people. Exactly, because we got that little round table. Well, I'm not even gonna name names yet. Let's go. Let's go.
Pete Hegseth over both a new report on his use of signal and the strikes on alleged drug boats from Venezuela. Here's what we
Going
know.
to jail.
CBS News has learned that survivors of a September strike on an alleged drug boat were trying to climb back onto the vessel and retrieve what a source describes as drugs before the follow-up attack. Admiral Frank Bradley, who the White House says ordered the strike, will brief lawmakers today. Meanwhile, President Trump says he supports releasing video of the second strike.
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we certainly release, no problem. We stopped every boat we knock out. We saved 25,000 American lives.
What?
Also, the Wall Street Journal is now reporting Hegseth asked the four-star head of U.S. military operations in the Caribbean to step down. It was announced Admiral Alvin Halsey was retiring in October after the U.S. began striking suspected drug boats.
You know why? Because he wanted to leave with honors and he wasn't no fool. If you don't know who this gentleman is, he was actually over protecting the Caribbean Sea, like overseeing it for the United States. And this Pentagon chief of military retired. He said right when this started happening, and I would assume it's because he directly did not want this to happen. But then Mr. Pete came in like, I'll do it. I'll do it. And look what's going to happen to him. He's going to be going to jail, fired first, then going to international jail.
Journal, Halsey reported Lee had concerns about the legality of these strikes. And according to multiple sources, the Pentagon's internal watchdog found Hegseth violated regulations and could have endangered
Check the
troops.
text.
He shared
Yo,
details about a military.
They doxing him and everything. This is what you want, Trump loyalists. This is what loyalty gets you. You know they doxing him. They're straight doxing him. And I just want to say this. I don't read the comments a lot when I'm going live because I like to stay to the content. As you guys see, we went in to talk about reparations. So don't feel away if I don't get to the comments towards the end because people will be all over the place. All right. But I will try my best. Please try to stay, on subject and I'll put y'all comments out there. Let's go.
Operation in Yemen in a private Signal group chat earlier this year. A journalist was accidentally added to this thread. This is how Hegseth responded earlier this year when the story first broke.
Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Whoa. Okay. Do y'all see this setup right here? Y'all see the setup right here? He did everything probably Trump wanted to do. I'm saying probably, and you know it is. And look at that. They put a reporter inside of the chat group, allegedly. And all of this got leaked. This was a setup. It's going to be many fall guys for Trump. Trump's going to have to pardon himself and all his people.
For that, Natalie Brand is standing by at the White House, and Torian Small is there on Capitol Hill. Natalie, let's start with you. What are we learning about the two survivors of that September boat strike?
Good morning, Errol. A source tells CBS News that the two survivors who initially survived that September 2nd strike on an alleged drug boat were apparently trying to climb back on board before it was hit a second time. And the source says that, as you mentioned, they were trying to allegedly salvage drugs and appeared to be in communication with others at the time. And the source also notes that there were
Wait a minute. Guys, come on now. You stop it. You know we got some common sense. Y'all listen to what she say. That's why we listen to all types of news here. She said the boat was bombed. They was on the side of the boat trying to climb back in the boat, and it appeared that they were in communications with people trying to salvage the drugs. Did y'all? That didn't even sound right with me repeating it. This is the stuff that just they put in front of us like we don't pay attention to. That's why we watch news from all over here. I be scrolling. That don't make no sense. Pete, you going to jail.
Boats in the vicinity that could have picked them up. Now, these new details come as the second strike is under a lot of scrutiny over on Capitol Hill. Some legal experts and Democratic lawmakers have said that that second strike could constitute a war crime if the military was intentionally hitting survivors. Now, Secretary Hegseth has said that the decision to make that second strike was made by the mission commander, Admiral Bradley, and was legal and justified, Errol.
And Torian, I want to jump to you. What do lawmakers hope to hear from Admiral Frank Bradley today?
Well, Errol, there is a clear split when it comes to parties along interpretation of the Trump administration's defense of that strike. We've heard Democrats pretty much calling this a war crime, something that Republicans have scoffed at. But we also have seen some trepidation with Republicans in full defense of the Trump administration. Here's what we've gathered from lawmakers yesterday.
So let's listen what the lawmakers have to say. Guys, I do want you to get in the chat. Only reason why that I don't address everything because it don't be on topic. I need you guys to be on topic. Get up in here. Tell me what you think. Is this war crimes? Is this Pete Hegseth problem? Did Trump set him up, or we're just here in a big old psyops? I'm just gonna say it. They're over here doing things every day to have our mind going left and right. This is part of the psychological operations to keep us going. That's why we're talking about it. We got to talk this out. I want negative feedback and I want positive feedback, meaning y'all can say whatever. You agree, you don't agree, but let's just have some respect for each other, right? Because y'all know we're coming from different walks of the world. So let's see what the legal experts have to say about this.
We're going to essentially ask in detail what happened, who gave the what orders, What were the
So Jimmy, tell me what you think is going on here, because I definitely know what's going on. International war crimes. I've been talking about this for the last 2 months, and these are the things that guys don't want to hear because you believe that America controls every single part of the world. We do not. We cannot go into people's land and just do what we want to do because they have resources or because we don't like their leadership. This has been an ongoing issue with Venezuela. About 2 months ago, when I brought this up, we broke down the relationship and how far this goes back with Venezuela. This is not a Trump thing. This is not a Democrat Republican thing. This is a regime change thing. This is a breaker nation who has actual natural resources like unrefined oil, like most of the places that we try to gain control of. And these people have been fighting. The tone is that these people want Maduro out. We're coming in to help. We're flooding these areas with guns. And that didn't work, obviously. They have a new leader that they like. And Trump is here again on his second round going after Venezuela. The first round, when he was first president in 2016, because I'm breaking this down because you say I don't know what I'm talking about, but I make it happen, baby. Don't make me talk fast. In 2016, he already hit him with terrorists. I'm terrorists, 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 because he said they were terrorists. Okay, let's say that. All right, just already hitting their economy, stopping them from being able to trade internationally at that time, which allowed them to build a relationship with Russia. Let's say that. See, I know what I'm talking about. That's why I'll be a little confused why all of them are all playing I'm your friend, not your friend, I'm your friend, not your friend. Now, that, you can clear that up for me, but this is even escalating the issue with Russia for us messing with Venezuela because they already said 2 months ago that they're going to be back in Venezuela. Okay, so just a little ad lib because when people tell Miss Grace, Mama Grace, she don't know what you're talking about. I just gotta break it down for you, okay? Because I'm never gonna come up here and talk about a subject I have no idea what I'm talking about. I love to research, I love to learn, and I listen to everyone. But we gotta make it make sense, baby. Okay, we not no Trump loyalists here or Democrat loyalists here because even under who was it? Biden? Biden did something to them too. I forgot what it was. I'll link the video at the end. It's both sides. This is about resources.
Is true that there were deliberate attacks upon individuals in the water, that would certainly constitute a war crime.
At the end of the day, the policy of stopping ships with poison coming in to kill Americans is a good policy. I think it's been a little bit mismanaged in the messaging.
And while it's been clear that Republicans are looking to get further answers, we also know that quite a few Republicans are looking to ask Bradley exactly what his involvement was in the ordering of those strikes. Put it in the words of Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat. He said that it was clear to him that Hegseth had Admiral Bradley's back just close enough to push him under the bus, Errol.
All right.
And
So
Natalie,
let's just say this. I'm going to be looking into Admiral Bradley because he's going to be going down for Trump as well. He's going to be going down for Trump. So let's keep this broadcast going because let's look at this as far as what we can expect possibly from Trump with this Venezuela invasion. So again, our resources are being basically strained. Military is all over the place. We do have sleeper cells here. Okay, can you at least agree with me that we have sleeper cells here allegedly, or was it just a CIA setup with the Washington thing? Which one is it? You can't have both sides. Do we have sleeper cells that happen in Washington, the two National Guards, or do we have CIA psyops? Either way is not good. Tell me what you think about that. We have sleeper cells here, and they're coming from different countries. And guess what? Our men are not here. They're not here to protect us. Logistically, they're not paying attention to what's going on. People, give me 1 second, y'all. All right. I do apologize. I had a breakthrough phone call. And then I'm not removing these people who can be possible liabilities or sleeper cells. That's how serious this is. That's why we're talking about it. We have to switch the focus. Anyone who support these actions is a little bit out of pocket because we can be spending our resources on something so much better. Shit, if Trump want to send $2,000, send me back my $2,000. Okay, I ain't with it.
And is becoming the world's newest flashpoint, and the showdown
Now
between the United.
This is Times of India, y'all. Okay, y'all probably never heard of this channel, but guess what? You're being introduced to it today.
The showdown between the United States and Venezuela is accelerating faster than anyone expected. Newly released footage shows U.S. Marines from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit storming warfare boats off the USS San Antonio, opening fire on targets floating in the dark water. It's all part of Operation Southcom, a Southcom mission aimed at destroying what Washington claims are Venezuelan narco boats. According to the Pentagon, the U.S. has now carried out 21 strikes since September, killing it.
Now, y'all see the difference when we watch other nations' news broadcasts? Y'all saw like Fox, CNN, they give us clip-its, a whole bunch of talking, their talking points. At least we get to see a little bit more. That's why my VPN be on spin. Let's watch this right here. This is interesting.
At least 82 alleged narco-terrorists. But Caracas sees something very different. Venezuelan officials condemned the attacks as imperialistic, an attempt to force regime change, and possibly even the prelude to an invasion. At a recent rally in Caracas, President Nicolas Maduro fired back. "We want peace," he declared, "but not a slave's peace." He accused Washington of orchestrating an international campaign to topple him, even as U.S. warships, including the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, circled the Caribbean in the biggest military buildup there in decades. Behind the scenes, the picture is even more complicated. President Donald Trump has privately spoken with Maduro for the first time since returning to office. The two even discussed a possible meeting and potential amnesty terms if Maduro were to step down.
Does your warning mean that an airstrike is imminent, or should we not read it that way?
Don't read anything into it.
The New York Times reported that you had a phone call with Maduro. Did you?
I don't want to comment on it. The answer is yes.
And can you tell us a little bit
No,
about
I can't do that.
Mr. President, would you say it went well?
I would say it went well or badly. It was a phone call. Yeah. And I
So,
say more. If that phone call
now
means
this
that
is,
there are
hold on.
steps.
I'm gonna share with this you their station so you can finish watching. But that was some good clips. And someone said asking for a friend, Jim. You said so them boats we US blew up. Yes, they've been blowing them up since September. Okay, so in September through November, the U.S. launched a maritime anti-narc campaign in the Caribbean Sea, hitting at least 18 boats. I thought it was 7, but they're up to 18 boats. Yeah, they've been doing their due out there, and now we're spread across the Caribbean Sea, and we didn't even know it. All right, I have a few more things just to show you guys. And again, I'm showing you broadcasts from different nations all over. Have you ever heard of First Point? How Venezuelan military stacks up against the U.S. troops in Caribbean. So we're going to watch a little bit of that. This is how I build my perspective because I watch everything and see like, okay, where we're at, what they're doing, who's saying what. So let's watch this. If you have not heard of them, this is called First Point. I don't know what country they're coming out of, but let's just listen a few minutes of it.
Or like a staging ground with the USS Gerald Ford American warship and thousands of American troops circling Venezuela's coast. Washington calls it a narcotics mission, but the scale hints at something far bigger and more deadlier. We break down exactly how Venezuela stacks up against U.S. military power. Comparison so uneven, it reads like two completely different worlds. On paper, Caracas certainly has the numbers, but in reality, years of economic collapse have drained its strength. Our next report has all the details.
All right, this is, I do want to add this as we listen to this. Guys, this is like a replay. I know y'all be sick of me, and y'all probably know where my family from. I have people from Haiti and Barbados, and this sounds just like Haiti. These places that Trump is going after, and a lot of, not just Trump, Democrat and Republican, regimes that been in office, they go after these places that has resources, and they're not really like war-driven countries, meaning that they're going to look for trouble. Again, Venezuela is almost on their last leg, and they try to blame it on socialism, but it's not. That is part of it, but it was a CIA operation that took place, I think, in 2009, where they started to dismantle their politics and started to flood them in with guns and the same ammunition. So I just want you guys to highlight that. Just look at the places where America is calling for separation, their criminals, and actually look at their state before you make a decision and say, yeah, we have to get them, they're this, they're that. Okay, because they're on their last leg, and these people, to add on, they actually had allegedly a fair election, and they elected Maduro. The guy before Maduro, I believe he was sent in there or put in there by the CIA allegedly, or did dealing. That's what helped increase the economic and social collapse out there and controlled the policy change. This has been going on for years, a little bit over a decade.
Tensions between the US and Venezuela are
You know, barbecue is not our leader. So you know a little bit about Haiti? No, we'll talk about it one day. My grandma was excited, just to let y'all know. Y'all can't be Haiti, okay? We do have someone else that's coming up in the. My grandma was so excited. They said, my grandma was like, oh, he's invisible. They tried to kill him 9 times. Yeah, barbecue, all the CIA agents they dealt with allegedly that flood Haiti with guns. We got a alleged superhero coming up. I'll let y'all know about him. He's over there. He's taking charge. He's a police officer, just like how barbecue was. And his MO is like, when we catch him, we kill him. I'm sorry. I don't promote that, but they not playing no more. They're taking the step like Philippines. When Philippines had all these drugs being put into their country, when we was allegedly targeting Philippines. Don't forget. Y'all are like, what? Yes, we were targeting Philippines. There was a whole lot of drugs and all this stuff getting in the Philippines, and the people could not understand what was going on. That president locked shit down. I think if Trump, it was around 2016, 17, Trump was saying something about them. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this to Philippines. And they was like, no, you're not doing anything to Philippines. We're gonna lock this down and we're gonna handle ourselves. And to this day, y'all haven't heard anything about Philippines, right? Because they got control of their country. Haiti's getting control of their country. And if we leave Venezuela alone, Venezuela will get control of their country. Yep.
are rising, and the waters around Venezuela are beginning to look like a chessboard, one where almost every major piece belongs to the United States. For months, the US military has been striking similar-looking vessels in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Washington calls it Operation Southern Spear. President Trump's mission sounds simple: crush narcotics trafficking. But the buildup suggests something far more dangerous. The arrival of the USS Gerald R. Ford, the largest aircraft carrier ever built, near Latin America, has electrified the region. And President Donald Trump has already been briefed on military options. Right now, there are nearly 15...
We know he's been being briefed. So I don't want to hear that he don't know what Hegseth is doing, because I think I got a clip where he said, I didn't know he shot that thing again. I didn't know he hit the boat again. Trump is separating himself from Hegseth.
1,000 American troops in the region, Marines on ships, thousands more at bases in Puerto Rico, 6 surface warships, 3 amphibious ships, 1 submarine, and that massive aircraft carrier, the crown jewel of American naval power.
This is our federal tax dollars, Mega.
Across the water sits Venezuela, a country with pride, history, and a military built around old Soviet-era hardware. In the 2025 Global Firepower Index, Venezuela ranks 51st out of 145 countries. Decent,
but nowhere close to the machine it would face, which
you.
sits right at the top. Venezuela has about 109,000 active duty troops, another 8,000 in reserve, over 220,000 in the National Guard. On paper, a sizable force. Its air force alone has 11,500 members and boasts Russian jets that stand out in the Caribbean.
So let's stop right here. I'm going to let y'all finish watch that. Mega, you may get happy. You may get a hard one watching that. I'm just going to be honest. I'm sorry. Because y'all love to hear when people are weaker than America. Yeah, we'll blow them out of the spot. Yeah, America. The fuck? These people they don't want war. They want to mind their business. They want to mind their business that pays them. Not deal with us coming in to try to steal their resources. But now, just to remind Mega, because if you continue to be a loyalist, this may happen to you as far as Trump sitting there in the White House chilling and you being outed for war crimes and being fired. Okay, let's see what's going on with American news, okay, and headset and their briefing on these boat strikes. They're calling for his resignation.
Fire on survivors.
Let's go. And I want to say thank you for being here with us today. Hold on one second. Thank you for being with Miss Grace this morning. This is what we do in the morning, 3 days a week. We're here looking at content from all over the world. My VPN be on fire. We use our critical thinking skills and we compare and contrast. I don't want only positive feedback. I want negative and positive feedback, meaning you don't agree, put it in the chat, but just put some respect on it and make it make sense. And I'm gonna say this. I think Mega, your ammo of name calling, it's pretty old. Instead of focusing on the subject matter, don't deflect. Because one, it doesn't work and it severely reflects your intellect. I'm just keeping it real. Don't let a black girl up here with a scarf outthink you and out talk you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all get prepared for what's going to happen. Again, my ammo is for us to focus in on real life things and for you to get prepared, for you to make the right decisions for your household, your family, economically. You see what I'm saying? We watching this and I'm investing in some Russia currency. Take a whole glass of shut up. I ain't no fool. Talking about, yeah, deport her. Deport her.
Live look.
I ain't playing with y'all.
Over the White House here as our next story, of course, takes us over to D.C. Happening today, the U.S. Navy Admiral, who reportedly issued the orders to fire on survivors of a strike on an alleged drug boat near Venezuela, will brief lawmakers behind closed doors. Cameras not allowed inside for that classified briefing with Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley, who is now the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. The testimony, though, could be pivotal as a congressional investigation unfolds into how Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, also known, of course, as the Secretary of War, handled the military operation in international waters near Venezuela and whether any laws were broken. Now, we did hear from President Donald Trump saying that essentially video of the second strike there that's in question will be released to the public. I do want to play that quick comment.
Okay, wait. Play the video. You see how we watch American stuff and we don't be getting too many videos. We get a lot of ad-libs. Be listening. Somebody's like, who listen to Fox? Me. I listen to everybody here. You know what I'm saying? Someone said America first. Honestly, to me, it's humanity first. I'm international, baby. I'm not going to be stuck on just one land. And y'all know you're going to hate this. There's a lot of bloodshed on America land. So y'all better be ready. Because every place, everything that you do, you get your karma. So y'all better be ready for y'all severe love of this land. You better be ready to stand up and fight. Okay, because this is what all roads leads to, because this is what he's bringing here. This is what the whole, I'm not going to just blame Trump. We've been having a perpetual wars, and we have to get control of our government, honestly. And if we keep having people with this mentality, just going with the status quo and allowing them to continue this perpetual war through each administration, we're going to suffer the consequences. Because when the bombs hit and hit the actual towns and everywhere, these elected officials right here with all the suits, they already got bunkers. They got bunkers while you're still saying Trump, okay, with his tanning booth up in there. Let's watch this together. I'm for humanity.
Video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what
I
happened?
don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem. You know, we stopped every boat we knock out. We save 25.
Wait, somebody said this. Somebody said human rights are not being killed by illegal aliens. So I don't have any rights. Well, tell that to the Native Americans. I gotta get you on that one. You serious? Huh? Mm? Who were them illegal aliens that came on a Native American land and killed them? Did they have a right? Okay. I'm just saying, I say the stuff to make you think and make you a little upset, but it be the truth, though. Let's go. Make it make sense, baby.
And if you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%. I'm surprised it's 9%. I don't know.
Look at this guy.
But it's down 91, and we're going to start very soon on land, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that.
Why Trump started back with this orange thing on his face now, y'all? That distracted me. Why he started with that?
Was some of the video that you were seeing there on your screen. Now, later today, an unclassified and redacted report from the Pentagon Inspector General regarding what's known as Signalgate is expected to be made public as well there in D.C. The Associated Press saying the report details that Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel and their mission at risk when he used the Signal messaging app to convey sensitive information about a military strike against the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Hegseth does have the ability to declassify material, and the AP states the report did not find that he did so improperly.
Oh, I forgot to mention we're in Yemen too. Oh yeah, we there too. But look how they doxing him. They want him out. Something he did. Now they're bringing up stuff from him talking about Yemen, him calling this airstrike. He did something against Trump.
But it did find that he violated Pentagon policy by using his personal device for official business. Hegseth did decline to sit for an interview with the Pentagon's Inspector General, but provided a written statement. In it, Hegseth explained that he was permitted to declassify information as he saw fit. Now, he did post on social media after that report was made public, saying, quote, "No classified information, total exoneration, case closed. Houthis bombed into submission. Thank you for your attention to this IG report."
And that's how we get an update. But then you saw just in the last article that we showed you that they already doxed this text. He was there literally sharing things on an open text platform with a media person. Yeah, classified stuff. This is what we do. So this is the last part. I want to put the 8 ball in the chat because it was just 2 days ago where I literally just said they're going to be firing Hegseth. And I'm waiting to get the 8 ball for Bavino, okay, because he caused so much liability. Not just him, he was following Trump orders, but he's going to be the fall guy. So they're asking for Hegseth resignation. And yeah, top admiral brief lawmakers on boat strike as watchdog fault Hegseth for signal use. So everything that I have shown you guys today will be at the bottom. Again, we use diverse resources. I want to say thank you for everyone joining me today. I usually broadcast for an hour. I wanted to make sure that we knew what was going on with Venezuela. Thank you for all the ones who have been paying attention, using your critical thinking skills, as well as I want us to start learning a little bit more about international law. Because again, America don't stand by itself. This is a big planet. So when someone say America first, it's humanity first. Because at the end of the day, when the COVID hit, it was hit nation by nation. And what I noticed being an ICU nurse, COVID nurse, that what happened there in China, it didn't happen in Israel, it didn't happen to us. So I had to pay attention to what was going there, Israel, and then I knew a couple of weeks later it was coming here. The world is connected, point blank, period. And we can't control it. So get the real narratives, make some good decision based on what God wants you to do, because at the end of the day, that's who you're going to actually have to meet, not all of these people who keep you in this group mentality. And as I say, going to be going to them damn bunkers when shit hit the fan if we don't get control of this. Honestly, I think us as American people, if the other nations see that we're fighting against a totalitarian government, and it's not just Trump. Again, I was very uncomfortable under the Dems where all of these migrants, illegals came in. It was scary. It was biblical. But this is like a domino effect. And it's like everyone is playing a certain game. And guess what? Me and you, we're not in the club. So get to it. Hit the like button. We'll see you on Tuesday again. I'm grateful for you being here. Please check out my videos. We are out in the street on Wednesdays. We're giving back to the community. We're doing food giveaways every Wednesday in Atlanta. We're up to feeding 50 people. I'm so excited. Yes. And hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to provide socks, gloves, hat, and at least 50 meals. That's the goal. So hit the like button. Thank you for being here with Miss Grace. And